out of the barn on this one, because it's pretty well surrounded.
It is, unfortunately it is, but you still have somebody out there trying to make a living farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
they were
agree.
there first, trying to make.
I mean, you have all these planted pines and you have all that other stuff, that's still agricultural.
Mhm.
But, there's not a, I agree, it has largely gone residential.
Yes. That was a very good point, very good. Thank you, making those statements. All right, is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion from the commissioners.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Willis.
might not be popular, but, I'm gonna make a motion based on the fact that I know the TRC has said that they'll figure out a way to get an access in there. I don't know how they're gonna move that train on the tracks. That's my biggest concern, is the safety of the people in there, and it should, we're in a land development position here, I know. But, number 5, it says whether the proposed change will adversely influence existing conditions in the neighborhood or the community at large. I feel like that is, would be an adverse condition, and whether we're supposed to look at it or not, I don't think in good conscience that I personally could vote to approve this with other things such as the farming that's existing there presently with the chemicals that's there. I know that they're there presently, and we've got houses around there, but we also got trees that I went out and looked and tried to figure it out myself, how they were gonna do it, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm sharp as tool in the shed. However, I'm gonna make a motion that we deny this request based on number 5, whether the proposed change will adversely influence existing conditions of the neighborhood and the community at large, and I believe it will.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Willis to deny. Do we have a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a second. Mr. Ray, is there any discussion on the motion?
Just one, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Standard for exercise of zoning power number 5, whether the proposed change will adversely influence existing conditions in the neighborhood or the community at large. I disagree with you on the fact that it's not going to affect existing. What it's going to affect is when you build that in and those people can't get out. Because everybody that's surrounding that area now, because you're talking mainly about the railroad track.
Right. But it is going to be part of the community. When we after we do this, if we voted for it, it's going to be part of it. And that's my biggest concern. I mean, we could go on and we got a piece of land that's on the backside that could potentially be landlocked. Believe me, I wanted to try and figure out a way to do it, but I just, in good conscience, I couldn't vote for it. I mean, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of us here, but.
Any other
Chairman,
discussion? Mr. Page.
I would confer with Mr. Willis. There are a lot of unanswered questions here. That's why 30 minutes ago I was wondering if we ought to table it, but now that we have this motion, I understand, and I agree with Mr. Willis, and I think they're valid concerns, and we need to look out for the safety of the people. And another thing, if by chance this thing was developed without a alternate entrance into this neighborhood, I think there's potential for lawsuits too. I know that's something the county would have to deal with, the commissioners ultimately. I support Mr. Willis's motion. And I am in pro-business and pro-development as you can get, but we have to answer the questions first before we move forward.
Right. Okay, is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, one more quick thing. I had rather, I agree with every one of Ms. Wilson's concerns. It seems to me I'd rather see them addressed as a condition, as an approval with a condition as opposed to denial. You can make the argument that if this land is denied and maintains to be farmland, there's going to be more chemical sprayed in that area and around these other houses that completely encircle it than if it's not. So, I mean,
But that's not my main concern, access to the.
well, and that's why I say approval with that condition. I think Chairman Slaughter indicated that's going to be dealt with at permitting anyway. If we want to make sure of it, it seems we could approve it with that condition.